Welcome back to one of the Bears Travel Plays YouTube channel. I think it's Saturday, November 9th, and I'm back breaking down a few more plays in college basketball. We're going to look at two top 25 matchups. We have Arkansas going up against Baylor, then we're going to be looking at Auburn going up against Houston. 4 total plays, 2 game picks, 2 player props for the Saturday slate. Before that, let's take a look at the Friday recap really quick. We have Kansas, -7. They're up by, I want to say 20 against North Carolina, maybe 18. Game's not over yet. We got a full half. I'm sure North Carolina is going to come out in the second half, be energized. They're going to make adjustments. They got a great head coach over there. So it is looking good right now. Kansas -7, Duke -30.5. Doesn't matter where you got this one. I took it 30.5. I think it closed at 33.5. They won 100-56. So we did catch a win there. We have Zeke Mayo over 13.5 points. Maybe the smoothest jumper we're going to see all season long. He's got 10 points at the half. He's going to go over 13.5 points. He's just so smooth. If he gets any sort of playing time in the second half, he's going over. And then R.J. Davis, over 19.5 points, took him 20-plus points, has 8 points, had 5 minutes in the first minute of the game. But KU's been really good at face guarding him. So I'm sure North Carolina, again, they're going to make adjustments. Hopefully he has a better shooting day in the second half because he went 1 of 8 in the first half. But let's take a look at the plays for tomorrow. We are going to be looking at Arkansas going up against Baylor for the first play. Have not seen Arkansas play this season. I have seen Baylor play, and they looked bad against Gonzaga. I knew that it was going to take some time for Baylor to gel everything together because they do have a couple really good transfers, including Jeremy Roach and Omier. But the problem is that they have to play defense while they're trying to get things together on the offensive side. What they did against Gonzaga, that's inexcusable. Baylor is supposed to be a top 25 team. They're supposed to be one of the better teams in the Big 12 Conference. They gave up 101 points. It'd be a different story if they put up 90-plus points themselves, but they put up 63. They lost that game by, 40 points? It's an extremely well-coached team as well. I know Scott Drew is one of the best coaches in college football for several years, so it's just an unexcusable performance from Baylor. I just don't know if Baylor is ready for another test against Arkansas. They are coming in this season with a lot of high hopes, but Arkansas, they got the biggest coaching splash of anybody this offseason. They brought in the former Kentucky head coach, John Calipari, and with the big splash, he did bring over a few players in the transfer portal and from Kentucky. He brought over a few players from Kentucky, but he also got one of the best players in the transfer portal, and he has a former FAU player, Janelle Davis. That kid can score anywhere on the floor. They also have a top freshman, the #1 point guard in the class, Boogie Flan, great name. He scored 17 points in the first game. I do think Arkansas is the more talented team here. I'm sure that Baylor is going to get better throughout the year, but I think Arkansas wins this game. The better team, they're going to be more efficient. I'll take them to cover the small spread. -3.5 is the play. For the next play, we're going to be looking at Auburn going up against Houston. Auburn is coming into this game as one of the top teams in the country. They have several players returning, including Johnny Broome, who was one of the best players last season. They also have a transfer, Miles Kelly, one of the better players for Georgia Tech last season. I would usually take this Auburn team with any points that you're going to be giving me, but you got to take a look at the other side. This Houston Cougars team, they're going to be just about as good as anybody this season. You can make the argument about Auburn winning this game outright. I'd sit here, I'd listen to you, but at the end of the day, this game's got to be won on both sides of the floor. Auburn, I'm sure they're going to play decent defense in this one, but Houston's going to make you want to quit whenever you play them. That's just how it's been over the last 5 years under Kelvin Sampson. This is a team that does not give up on the defensive side. They're bringing back L.J. Cryer. They're bringing back Malik Wilson. They're bringing back Roberts. Those are the 3 main guys from last season. This team is going to be losing Jamel Shed. That's going to hurt them. That was the leader last year. That was the heart of the team. But this is the most physical team in the NCAA. They're going to show you on Saturday afternoon. They're going to play lights-out defense. I'm going to take Houston against the number. -2.5 as the play. Let's go over to the player props for tomorrow. We're going to be looking at the Arkansas game to start. We're going to take the freshman, Boogie Flan of Arkansas, over his total points. This is going to be interesting to see how he responds because his own head coach in the press conference after the game, he had a lot of things to say. He wasn't very happy with the shot selection. Boogie only made one of his 8 3-point attempts, I should say. He did say to his player, "Why would you shoot those threes? You've only made one, and it barely went in." If I was a basketball player, someone told me that, especially my head coach, I'd probably lose a little bit of confidence. But I also did read that he said, "I'm not going to tell you not to shoot. Take some more 2-point shots." Boogie did finish the game with 17 points in the first game. This is a young guy. He was an All-American last season as a kid in high school. We're going to see how he operates in the second game. But this was the #1 ranked point guard coming into the season. And again, he's a McDonald's All-American. I'm sure he decided to go to Arkansas because of the head coach, because he went to school in New York. So he's going to be learning under one of the best head coaches in basketball. I think he's going to come out in this game motivated and be very aggressive, which I love taking player props who are aggressive, getting themselves to the rim, then getting themselves to the line. I'll go with Boogie in this first game over his total points as the play. For the second play tonight, we're going to be looking at Auburn going up against Houston. We're going with Miles Kelly over his total points. I've already said a lot of positive things about the Cougars. They're one of the best teams defensively over the last several seasons. They're probably going to be one of the best teams this season defensively. But Miles Kelly can make an impact. Last season with Georgia Tech, and actually over the last 2 seasons with Georgia Tech, going back to 2022, this has been a three-point shooter. He shot 7 times per game from deep in 2020, 6.7 times from deep last season for Georgia Tech from 3 as well. This season, in his first game at Auburn, he shot 9 attempts from deep. He made 7 of them. I think that's the only way you can beat a team like Houston. If you can spread Houston out, if you can move the ball around the perimeter, get a look inside the free throw line with Johnny, which I'm sure Auburn's going to be able to do that with Bruce Pearl as their head coach. He's a great head coach. All you have to do then, get a double team on Johnny, kick out to the open man on the outside. That's going to be Kelly for the 3. I don't know how many times Auburn's going to be able to run that play, but Miles Kelly, he's going to have his fair share of outside looks in this game. I don't expect this number to be a huge player prop. Might even be like 11.5 or 12.5 as the play, but I am going to go with the over total points because I do think the only way Auburn has a chance to win this game is if they shoot 50% from the outside. So give me Miles Kelly here. Over his total points, he's going to knock down a few threes as the final player prop. Let's go over the recap graphic. We're going to take Arkansas minus 2.5. We've got Houston minus 3.5. Boogie Fland over his total points. And then Miles Kelly knocked down some threes over his total points going up against the Houston Cougars. Guys, it's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Saturday, November 9th slated games. So you guys enjoyed the content. Please share, drop a like on this video, and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.